Thanksgiving travel expected to surge to record levels with 82 million people hitting the road or flying. Joining us right now is Sara Nelson, the Association of Flight Attendants International President. And Sara, it's great to see you. Happy almost Thanksgiving. I know this is a really busy time of the year for the members you represent. Can you just talk us through where things are right now after that extended government shutdown, how things are faring in the airports and in the skies?
Well, Becky, happy Thanksgiving to you and all the viewers, too. And our members are experiencing probably what a lot of your watchers and listeners are experiencing, too. Typical winter storms. And we know that the air traffic controllers and TSO officers were stretched to the limit. Some of them decided not to go on. So this is a really stretched airspace, trying to keep everyone safe. And there may be some slowdowns because of that. The crews on the front lines, the flight attendants, the people in the airports experienced the same thing. As operations were slowing down, there were delays and cancellations, and people get frustrated. And so it's been a very difficult time for the crews out on the line, too. But I think that we're in the best position possible going into this Thanksgiving holiday. People really coming together in solidarity to try to make this work. Everyone wants to try to get people to their place on time. And it's more people than ever before. It's the entire size of the city of Chicago up in our airways over every single day over this holiday.
Wow. That is a lot to consider. I mean, Sara, you've been at this for a while. I think you first started as a flight attendant back in 1996. Is that right?
Yes. I'm a 30-year flight attendant, Becky.
Way to go. Way to go. Sara, where do you think we are relative to where we were when we started? Do you think we're handling things well? I mean, it's great that we're getting more and more travelers to their destinations and more people are able to fly every year. But what do you just think about the state of travel these days?
Well, look, airlines will tell you that it's more accessible than it ever has been. And of course, we have more people on our planes than we have ever had. Not only are the planes full, but also airlines have reconfigured to try to get as many seats on those planes. So it's very jam-packed. People walk through an airplane and experience the inequality that they're experiencing in their lives. They walk through first class with the bigger seats and more service, and then they walk to the premium economy or a premium service and on back, all the way back to the back of the airplane, where typically you should feel lucky that you just have a seat to sit in and your bag is being taken away and not a lot of other amenities. So this is very different than when I started. Planes were not all full all the time. We had a lot of ability to move people around, to help people feel more comfortable, to find space for the lap child that people are bringing on board with the car seat, rather than checking the car seat and having one more body on the plane than there are for every seat. And so it's a difficult ride today for a lot of people, and it's very difficult for flight attendants who are down to minimum staffing in most cases. So there's fewer of us, a lot more people. And of course, flight attendants expertly de-escalate conflict all the time, every single day, so that thousands of flights can take off and land safely. And it's only a few that make the evening news.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. It is a tough job. There is nothing easy about it. Tempers flare. You know, you talk about how seats are jam-packed and the planes are jam-packed, and I kind of think of that from the investor's perspective, because investing in airlines has been a very tricky and often not a profitable endeavor over the years. So they're looking at ways to try and make sure investors can get money back for betting on these stocks and investing in them. They're looking for ways to make sure that consumers aren't paying more and more. And that's one of the reasons that there's so much more accessibility, the idea that fares have stayed low. It's a lot to juggle, a lot to handle. One thing that occurs to me, though, is that every time there's a government shutdown, and you know this well, air travel gets held up as a bargaining chip from a political perspective. I would assume you'd like to see that change, make sure that everybody, whether it be the air traffic controllers, the TSA agents, that they're all getting paid whether the government shuts down or not, because it is a frustrating place to see this, the politics play out. And my guess is it's really tough for your union members, too.
Becky, it's really, really difficult. And over the course of my 30 years flying, we have seen more extensions, CRs, not real funding of not only paying for the workers who are on the front lines, but also building the infrastructure that we need to have a safe system, not a crumbling system, but a modernized system. And so every time there's a government shutdown, the government workers have to work on a shutdown plan. They stop what they're doing, contract work stops. And we're bearing the brunt of that now because we have an outdated system. Our air traffic controllers are not only stretched to a staffing level that is really pretty unsustainable if we're not working in a very diligent way to get that staffing up and get people through the training center and also attract people to these jobs. You know, it's very difficult to say, come have a job where you may from time to time not get a paycheck. That is not a good way to move forward. And we do have the money to pay people during a government shutdown. But I just want to remind people that paying people should be fundamental and the first move. But we also have disruptions to making sure that we have a safe infrastructure when we have these shutdowns too. So I encourage all politicians to get together. And when it comes to the budget, it's time to put issues aside, come to a collective solution about how to fund the government and move forward, because we just can't operate a safe and consistent system. We can't attract people to jobs if we have these disruptions all the time.